Good morning, good life. You're listening to Detail Therapy, episode 61. This is a fun one because I love helping people discover more ways to go after the lives they want, especially when it comes to supplementing your income to help to make that happen. But I need to start this episode by saying that I hate the word influencer. I think it's a very small word for a very big job. Not only that, for many people like myself, it's just one aspect of their career or their lives and how they affect change on the world. That being said, we're going to use the word influencer today because everyone knows what it is. And if you don't, you probably don't care about this podcast episode, and it's okay for you to move on to another one. The beautiful thing about the word influencer is that it's the go-to phrase to describe an opportunity open to pretty much anyone with a wide range of ways to advocate for the things you love. This world was so much more exclusive in the past, and now if you have the right infrastructure in place, you can do it too if you know a couple of key tips. How's that possible? Well, I'm going to share the steps I recommend you take if you want to diversify your revenue streams by adding influencer marketing to your arsenal of skills. Do you need to have a certain size audience? Not necessarily. Do you need to put in the work? Absolutely.
She's an award-winning YouTuber and best-selling author obsessed with helping you go after the life you want.
I like it.
Join her as she seeks out the stories and strategies.
Give me every little detail
of extraordinary people who found success.
I'm going to get emotional. Oh my God.
Welcome to Detail Therapy with Amy Landino.
Couple of questions for you. Are you the one in your group of friends that is always being asked for tips or advice? Are you constantly looking up ways to do things in your life better or more efficiently? Do you love telling people about a new gadget you found on Amazon that has boosted your happiness? Would it be nice to bring in anywhere from a couple hundred to thousands of extra dollars per month to help you live the life you want? If you answered yes to any of these questions and you already love the power of social media, today I want to get into a few tips I recommend if you want to start making money as an influencer. Our less than favorite word that we are definitely going to use today to just get the point across. We are going to get into the details about the very important strategy you need if you want influencer dollars to ever come into your life, what a media kit is and why you should definitely have one ready, like already, get on that. Ways to start making money immediately if brands aren't exactly beating down your inbox door. And the biggest mistake people make when they are trying to make money as a influencer, quote unquote. Before we get into today's topic, for those of you who are new to the show, my name is Amy Landino and I will be your host. You can think of me as your number one productive lifestyle coach. I'm the founder of Gatlu House, a media company dedicated to helping you go after the life you want. In addition to this podcast, we produce the award-winning YouTube series AMYTV, of which I am also the host. I've authored 2 best-selling books, most recently Good Morning, Good Life, which is now available on Amazon. Links to everything I mentioned will be in the show notes at detailspodcast.com, in addition to pretty much everything else we talk about today. So let's get into it. I have 7 tips for you, 7 tips to start making money as an influencer, if that tickles your fancy. I know many of you may not be interested and just kind of want to hear what's happening behind the scenes. I welcome that. I am super transparent about this business. It is only one of approximately 9 revenue streams that I have in my business and in my life. And so I really want to get this information out there because it is possible for each and every one of us to do this. You do not need to have 300 million, 1,000, 100 billion, jillion followers on anything in order to make money at this. I know people who just have their 1,000 friends following them, and that has made them money with brands specifically. We're going to talk about more than just brand outreach and that kind of thing, but stay tuned. It's all coming. Let's start with tip number 1. This is very, very important. And it's not just because I like to say buzzwords, but you need a content strategy. There's a number of different ways you can do this. You could be on YouTube like I am. You can be on Instagram like I am. You could be on TikTok like I am not. You could be on the blog. You can be on Twitter. You can have a podcast. There's so many different ways to have a content strategy. But the bottom line is, what does that mean? You need to help people. If you do not have a resource that helps people, you cannot build trust. You just can't. I mean, you can in real life. You can be an influencer with the people that you meet, and you can still be helpful to people IRL. But at the same time, that's not really scalable, and you're not going to go into a full-blown influencer pitch mode situation most of the time. And that's just not something brands are willing to pay for. So when you have created a content strategy, it means that you know who you help and how you help them. So those two things are an absolute must. If you have a content strategy, you know those two things at a minimum. The third thing that you know is where you're doing it and how. So if you help 50-something women to redefine their lives at this stage of the game, and in specifically the area of spiritual health, okay, that's great. You know who you help and you know how you help them or what you help them with. But now where are you going to do it? Are you going to do this in 5-minute podcasts every single day? Are you going to post one 20-minute video per week? Those are the other hows that you need to figure out. But knowing who you talk to and how you help them is very important. Anyone who is potentially going to partner with you, no matter how connected they are to you or not, there's lots of different ways to do this. We'll talk about that soon. But if you're going to do this, you really need to be clear on who you help, because a product or a feature or a partnership or any kind of sponsorship whatsoever is not going to make sense unless there is an alignment with that audience. So you can't just say, hi, my name is Amy and my favorite color is clear. I have an Instagram. You should sponsor my stuff. That's just not good enough. We need to know why you matter to the world. And when it comes to why you matter to the world, it's who you're talking to. The other really big thing that I have to mention behind this is, yes, you can have a YouTube. Yes, you can know who you talk to. Yes, you can know what you'd help them with. But if you don't do it consistently, there's really not going to be a consistent potential for revenue diversification here. You know, if you have one viral hit, congratulations. But what are you going to do to follow that up with? And brands specifically are wanting to work with people who are helpful on a regular basis, not just these one-hit wonders. So how are you going to be consistent is very important as well. You don't have to be like us at YouTube where we have a specific posting schedule every single time. I know lots of YouTubers who post whenever the heck they feel like. Some of them post at 2 o'clock in the morning. I find it fascinating. It doesn't matter. The algorithms will help get that content out there, but you do need to be creating helpful information. Even if helpful means entertaining, you need to be doing it on a regular basis. And on that note, here is your second tip. If you are curious about the world of video and YouTube and vlogging in any capacity when it comes to this content strategy, I happen to know a lot about it. Like, I am brimming with that information. It's in my head, and I always forget that it's like trying to get out so much because I talk about all this other stuff now. Productivity, calendar blocking, morning routines. I have so much information when it comes to video in my head. I just did a mastermind recently with my friend Chris Ducker, and I was only supposed to be there for 1 hour, and I just stayed for the whole 3 hours because I just had so much info. People were asking me. I was firing at all cylinders, and I had to get it out there. And it reminded me that I wanted to do that again. So if this specific piece, developing a content strategy, especially on YouTube or in a video sense, even if it's not on YouTube, it might just be on another platform, is something that you are interested in, I am going to be doing a training that I have done in the past and I have not done for a long time. This will be a live webinar training on March 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, there will be replays if you can't make it. You're going to want to sign up no matter what. But this training is called How to Not Look Stupid Vlogging. I know that sounds super interesting because it's what we're all thinking. And there's a lot of stuff that we are going to go over during this time, including the reason you feel ridiculous when you're filming yourself and the trick to overcome it. The biggest mistake people make when they start each of their videos. Yes, you can literally ruin the whole thing by starting a video the wrong way. The unsuspecting thing that is killing your video completely, and the hack of making your YouTube channel look professional, even if you're just getting started with little to no content. I will be doing a live Q&A specifically around video, so that's definitely a good reason to attend as well. And we're going to talk about the big next step to accelerate your success with vlogging and how to start ASAP. So if you're interested in that training, you want to learn about content strategy, you think at least learning about video would help you in any other form, I highly recommend you join me for this. There again will be a replay, so make sure you sign up to attend live no matter what. Maybe you can make it, especially for that Q&A, but regardless, we'll make sure that you can watch it on replay. All the details are at vloggingwebinar.com. That's V as in video, logging, webinar.com, VLOGGINGWEBINAR.com. I will link to it in the show notes as well, and I really hope to see you there. Your third tip is to reach out to companies that you love. It sounds obvious, and guess what? You probably think, oh, they're not going to look at me. I don't have enough followers, blah, 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 blah. It's so easy to say that, but there's a number of ways you can do that. First of all, just post about something you really like. Just post something in your Instagram stories or make a video or whatever the case may be. I specifically like Instagram for this because the conversation is so fluid and companies are paying a lot of attention to Instagram. The same could go for Twitter as well if you're partial to that network. But if you just talk about something you like and you're authentic about it, that's great. It opens up the line of communication. The brand might write you back. And the DM is where things that really are special can happen. If for some reason they do reply, being able to get in touch with them and say, hey, love what you guys are doing. Let me know if I can be any help to you. Just to have a conversation with somebody that's in the social department is a really good idea. Whether or not you start there or you just go to DM to hit up a brand, you've got to be really aware of how you're approaching it. People want free stuff all the time, okay? That's really easy. So don't let your note get lost in the noise. You can ask for something for free right now. You can ask for a brand deal right now, but quite frankly, you're not offering anybody any form of value. So especially if you're already in the habit of talking about a product, and then you want to continue to talk about it, but you want to do it as more of a partnership, my recommendation is that you reach out specifically in the DM. Emails can be really difficult to break through as well. And just say, hey, I love what you guys are doing, and I think my audience really appreciates it because we talk about X topic. Don't go on for days, okay? Nobody wants to read your novel of a DM. But the key phrase here is, would it be okay if you put me on your PR list? Can I send you my address or any information that would be helpful? If you ask to get on the PR list, there is a chance they will do it. And there's a chance that you might get some kind of promo that they're doing in the future in the mail. And this is really fun because yes, it's free product. Did you pick it? No, it could be something super random that you didn't ask for, but that's okay. If you believe in their mission and what they're doing, take the opportunities that come your way on that PR list and treat it like it's a paid gig. Get that coffee mug in the mail and post it on your stories and talk about why you like it so much and how you're so appreciative to the company for thinking of you, etc., etc. When you treat something as paid when it is not, it is indicative of your work ethic as to what you'll do when you actually are contracted to work with somebody. And no matter how many followers you have, being easy to work with is a great thing. And this is one way that you can indicate that. So the goal is to be getting on someone's PR list so that the thing that's not costing them money other than product and shipping is paying off for them so that they can see in the future what might be possible. A really good example of this recently for me, I have loads of paid gigs that come my way all the time. But I also love to work with a partner that I'm not 100% sure is a long-term thing, just to try them out. And one example is that I worked with Mazda much more casually in the last couple of years. Every once in a while I would travel and I would just ask them if they could help me with having a car because driving in LA is a pain and I don't want to rent a car. And so just doing those and sharing the message of Mazda and the importance to design that they keep in their mission was something that was applicable in my particular strategy, but I wasn't committed at a level where I wasn't uncomfortable yet. And once we had kind of gotten acquainted with each other, they were doing a larger campaign a couple months ago, you may have seen on my Instagram, and they asked me to be a part of that. And that was a paid gig with a really fancy PR trip and all this kind of thing. So really just sort of really pulling back the curtain there, it started with free work. Yes, they were allowing me to save a lot of money on something, but there was a benefit going back to them that costs other brands a lot more money up front. And we were kind of just courting each other. So do not minimize that time that you can build that relationship. It's super helpful. And if we're talking about, a little widget company like cell phone cases or a little like moisturizer, just hit them up in the DM and say, hey, if you're interested in an influencer of my size in the future, and do not measure yourself, just say an influencer of your size. It doesn't matter what it is because everyone's an influencer these days. It just depends on how you leverage it. Is there any way you could put me on your PR list? And you'll be really surprised at how many might be open to it. But if you don't ask, you can't get. My fourth tip in this same sort of area of preparation, and we are talking a lot about brands, but I promise I have some other tips coming so that we can actually make money ASAP, because that's the goal. But my fourth tip is going to help you across the board, and that's to have a media kit immediately. What a media kit is essentially a really quick snapshot of who you are, what you talk about, and the important metrics that brands are looking for. In addition to potentially your menu of services, I highly recommend you include that. The reason this is important is twofold. First of all, you want to be able to deliver this quickly. Every time somebody reaches out to you, which hopefully will become a lot, you don't want to be starting from the bottom with a blank slate of, oh, what are we going to offer these guys? What are we going to charge? What are we going to do? You really need to be prepared. And also because it's going to help you to feel better about your price. It's going to help you to get more confident about charging for what you're worth. So putting everything on one page and saying, this is how we typically do things. That's a key phrase I highly recommend. This is what we typically do. Even if you've never typically done it before, you should be saying, this is what we typically do. X amount of dollars for X amount of deliverables, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll get into that in just a second. But knowing what this thing looks like is not only helpful for a brand that you're going to send it to and be able to respond to them in a very timely fashion so that any opportunities don't pass you by. It's helpful for you to just get more confident about what you're doing. So a couple of things I recommend to be on your media kit. First of all, keep it short. If it's 2 pages, the second page might just be a list of brands that you've worked with in the past. So mark down anything that might be applicable there. And don't lie. Just say the things that you have done, whether it was free work or not. If it was work, it counts. If it was not work and you're making it up, it doesn't count. So that's what I have on the second page of my YouTube media kit. But the first page is a very quick description of the metrics that matter to brands, which I've kind of just learned over time. And I'll get into that in a second. What I charge for what I do, and just some things about my audience, specifically demographics and what we talk about and how we benefit them and how a brand might apply to their lives, which means they could apply to my content. Who you talk to and what you do to help them is a very important thing to describe, but also very important is to keep this simple. If you make your media kit complicated, a brand is not going to know what route to go down. So you're going to want this menu of services, as I mentioned before. Think about it as your good, better, best. Like, what's the cheapest thing that you can do? What's like the best thing that you recommend that's like easy for you to get done, but also is worth money so you can charge? And also your best, like what's the fully loaded package if somebody really wanted to get on board with you? When you give people these 3 options, it's not too many, it's not too little. People aren't asking you for custom work, and you can really point people in the right direction without you having to think about everything as different and detailed and custom all the time. I can't stretch this enough. I know that making any money at the beginning is important to you, but when you're doing things custom all the time, it's very easy to forget details, especially if you happen to be doing 2 campaigns at once, etc. So really just have a breakdown of this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. Which one do you like the most? This is how much I charge for it. If you don't have that budget, guess what? You can't be at level 2. You got to come down to level 1. And this is where you get really committed to your price and really committed to your structure. A couple of metrics I definitely recommend to have on the media kit is number of followers. Doesn't matter how many it is. It just matters how you frame it. If you're on Instagram and you have 1,000 followers, let me tell you something. I know that people will pay you to do something on that presence. It's not going to be thousands. It's maybe not even going to be hundreds, but they will pay you something. And so keep that in mind and put your followers there. Also, remember to write down impressions. You're going to want to let people know how far your message reaches, because sometimes the number of YouTube subscribers that you have doesn't give the full story, especially if you have a video that has 1 million+ views on it. How many people did it actually get impressed upon? How much capacity do you have the ability to reach people? That's what brands want to know. Demographics are very important. What is the age? What is the gender? What is the location, etc. about your audience? This is a really easy kind of metric you can find on almost every platform. Podcasts, you have to do a lot more legwork to get this information typically, but Instagram, they make it very simple. YouTube, they make it pretty simple. Depends on what you're looking for in terms of geography, but very important to put demographics because brands tend to know their demos very, very well, and they want to make sure that everything is aligned there. And in the YouTube world, I highly recommend audience retention. Even if you don't get a lot of views, and a lot can be whatever scale you want. I'm not even going to give you a number because quite frankly, if you get 100 views on a video, 100 people watched your video. Please tell me that's not a lot of views. But anyway, audience retention is a great thing to mention because this says to the brand how long people tend to watch your videos. So the average audience retention on my channel is usually around 50%. That means a lot of people are finishing my video and a lot of people aren't, but the average is that people definitely watch halfway through. So when you're trying to figure out where to put a brand placement, where you're trying to put advertising, that number matters because they want the best possible chance of exposure to all 100 people that clicked on the video. And when they click off kind of matters at that point. So that's a really important one to include. Like I said, your following does not matter. I'm going to actually shout out my sister. She is so active on Instagram. She's so consistent. She's so helpful. She owns a daycare. And so her goal is to make people feel connected to her and trust that they can bring their child to her facility. But she also has brands that love working with her. She's all about eating better and working out and lots of things like that. So she has companies that'll reach out and just say, you're so much fun. We want to send you this thing. And I believe there was a campaign. I hope she doesn't get mad at me for saying this. I'm like, I think I know how much it was. I might just be guessing. But she got a product in the mail and was asked to just post a couple of stories about it and a minimum of 3 to 5 stories. And she was paid $60 for it. Now, if you think about the fact that you love posting on Instagram anyway and you love talking about a product and that product gets sent to you for free, so you saved that money if you actually love it and you use it, which is ideal because you should not be lying as an influencer. But then you get an extra $60 on top and that just starts to add up. So do not discount your following. I don't know if I said this before, but my sister has probably around 1,000 followers on Instagram. And if you think about that, that's like your friends. You've made friends over time and they start to add up. Look at your Facebook. How long have all of us been on Facebook? We have thousands of friends. It's amazing what we're able to do if we just commit to helping the people who've gotten connected to us over our lives. So do not disconnect what you have done. Now, on this media kit piece, I know that you're going to say, Amy, that's not enough information about media kits. Got it. No problem. Would you like to see my media kits? That's what I want to know. So I thought about this as I was writing this. I was like, this is so hard. I would much rather just show them what they look like. So what I'm going to do is when you sign up for the vlogging webinar, which I recommend because there's going to be a replay either way. So even if you don't attend, even if you don't even care about it, this is a reason to sign up for it. Sign up for it and you will automatically, with the webinar information, get links to redacted examples of my 3 media kits. You will see YouTube, you will see Instagram, and you will see the podcast. This is helpful because I'll show you some of my metrics. I'm just going to take away like dollars we charge because it continues to change. It just just depends on where we are with the market. But it'll give you an idea of the critical data that I have found to show brands, which is different for YouTube versus Instagram versus podcasting. So if you go to vloggingwebinar.com and sign up for the webinar, you will get a link so that you can see all of those in a PDF, redacted, but very helpful direction, so that if you go to like a PicMonkey and start designing your media kit, you can get an idea of what metrics you should be looking for to include on that. Now, if you don't have a lot of metrics to include, just look at how everything's been put on the page to tell a story about the fact that you should be working with me on these presences. The media kit is meant to tell you things that matter to you from a business sense as a brand, but also why I am the best ambassador to tell this story. So if you do not have these metrics to put on your media kit yet, that's okay. Put the information that is going to compel people to want to work with you individually. Stop comparing, start creating. All right, now moving away from the brand conversation, my 5th tip for making money as an influencer is to start right now with affiliate programming. We can literally do this 5 seconds ago. Going to Amazon and signing up for their affiliate program is so simple and easy. I do know that there's potentially issues in some areas of the world. Some states in the US may not completely support Amazon affiliate, but you'll have to look to see if that's the case for you. I'm hoping that's changed over the years. But signing up for an Amazon affiliate program is great, because if you can recommend a product that you love and all you have to do is use a special link to tell people where to go, while also, of course, disclosing that link is affiliate so that people know that you're sharing something that when they click on it, you're going to make money. If you share that link, they are going to get you a commission for that purchase happening. Not only that, on Amazon specifically, they not only give you a commission if somebody buys the thing you recommended, they give you a commission on what somebody bought for like a whole 24 hours. I'm pretty sure the cookie, I could be wrong, so don't hold me to this, but I think the cookie works for 24 hours. So if someone clicks on your Amazon affiliate link, I've had people randomly buy a 50-inch television while they were still under my Amazon affiliate cookie, and I received a commission of that because I showed them a coffee mug I liked. It literally could be anything. Amazon is an amazing way to start making money immediately, whether you're selling products or just referring product. I personally love to not create any product unless it's a book, because products are so annoying to me. I know that's annoying, but like, we're working on merch, but I really just prefer to show people amazing other products and my books. But Amazon's so easy for that. Audible is a great example too. I know as an author, we get some kind of bonuses for recommending people to Audible. But like the fact that you can make money sending people to download books to read because you recommend the book is awesome. That's good content. Hey, read this book. It's great. Don't bother reading. Just listen to it. Here's the Audible link. And then using affiliate is awesome. I don't know if it's just authors, but there might also be the capability of making a bounty on Audible recommendations. So basically what that means is if somebody's never signed up for Audible before, which let's be honest, is not that many people, but there's a chance. If someone's never signed up for Audible before and they click on your link because of your recommendation, there is a bounty that Audible is willing to pay for that. It is very high for authors. I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, so I'm not going to say what it is. As a matter of fact, I don't even know for a fact that the bounty is for everyone. It may just be for authors, but first of all, write a book. It's pretty simple these days, and that's in my next tip too. But write a book and then make an Audible and then send people to Audible to listen to your book. And not only will you make money on the book that you created, you'll make money on the affiliate, and you could make money as a bounty for getting people to sign up. So that's super fun. I know you probably need to have a certain number of followers for this recommendation, but Reward Style is a great place to go to make affiliate revenue as well if you're more in the style and lifestyle and beauty space. Reward Style is the company that created Like to Know It. So if you've ever seen a Like to Know It link on Instagram of somebody's outfit, that is all driven by affiliate links hosted in Reward Style. I know that I did not get approved for this program until I hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I don't know what their metric is for Instagram and everything else, but it's worth trying. And they shoot you down and they let you know, come back in 3 months and maybe we'll approve you then. So you might as well just keep applying just to see if they change their rules at any point. That's so fun because if you can find anything you've ever worn in this database or something close to it, you can recommend it to people and make money with it, which is fabulous. Look for the affiliate programs that work in your niche as well. I have so many different affiliate revenue sources that come in, everything from vlogging tools to email marketing tools to clothes to Amazon recommendations. I share a lot of Amazon recommendations on Shine Squad Secrets, which is my Instagram account dedicated to just sharing things I love. So that's an entire Instagram account dedicated to making money, in addition to recommending things in a targeted capacity. So just an idea there, if you go to shine.squad.secrets, you can see kind of the behind the scenes there. And the easy thing about that is you just put a link in the bio because it's too small to have swipe up. You put a link in the bio to an Amazon shop and you put all the things you recommend in the Amazon shop, and the Amazon shop has an affiliate link. So people click on it, they buy something, I make a commission. It's so simple, people. My sixth tip is to create a product. If you write a book and self-publish, Amazon will support you completely in that. It's a lot of legwork, but it can pay off in a big way. When you have a $20 book and you make the majority of the commission on that, that is a fantastic business move if you are willing to put in the work to promote it. You can also start like a t-shirt line. There's so many companies in the world now that if you just give them a design, they'll print the t-shirt. If a certain number of people will buy it, or some of them will just do it for a level of cost that is reasonable. You can just create anything you want. Maybe you make bracelets at home. Maybe you make coffee mugs, because clearly I'm obsessed with coffee mugs. Create a product, list it on Amazon, list it on eBay, and then share it on your social presences. If you have content that helps people, you can share something that people can buy if it's applicable to the conversation. It just needs to be authentic and it needs to apply to the conversation. And finally, my seventh tip, which is that mistake I told you about earlier. What is the biggest mistake when people call themselves an influencer? Please don't do this so that you can get further. Please. When you call yourself an influencer and you're not actually doing anything to earn trust of people. I've kind of talked about this a little bit already. Here's the thing. You can't just be an influencer because you said you are. You can't. I highly recommend you come up with a different name for yourself. Influencer marketing, influencer sales, influencer sponsorships are simply a marketing phrase for how you are creating awareness and making money. And that's it. That is not your title. You have a better title than that. You cannot just be an influential person unless you have shown people that you stand for something that is worth believing in and that they would want to continue to stay tuned to. So be helpful. It cannot be all about selling. All of your work cannot be influencer work. There's got to be other stuff in between. Yes, you can have a sponsor on every piece of content, but it really should be custom to how you're making the experience still the best for the audience. So on a YouTube video, I will have an entire purpose for a video and I will find a way to integrate a sponsor, or I'll do a sponsor read very traditionally, but there's still going to be a lot of other content in there that I would have done anyway, because if I wasn't going to do it anyway, then I have no purpose in this mission whatsoever. Your purpose cannot be to be an influencer. If you run around saying you're an influencer and you put it in the bio of your social presence, no one's going to take you seriously. Certainly not brands. Clearly, I'm a little too excited about this topic and passionate about my feels about the influencer community. I both love being an influencer and hate it all at the same time, because the word makes my skin crawl, because I know that my mission is so much bigger than that. And I really hope that you feel that way about what you're doing as well as you start to venture out into this world. Those were my 7 tips to start making money as an influencer. What is the tip that you're most excited about? Is this something that was helpful to you when you think about adding revenue to your life and to your work? What would you like to know more about? I want to hear what your thoughts were about this episode at Details Podcast on Instagram. Also, make sure you sign up for my webinar. That's How to Not Look Stupid Vlogging if you're interested in creating video. I just love that title. I'm sorry. I live for it. March 5th, 2 p.m. Eastern at vloggingwebinar.com. Link will be in the show notes. That is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you on Tuesday. Cheers.